Shut up and sit down.
Howdy guys, Andy from Big Mix Workshop and Painting Studio, and it's White Dwarf time. So White Dwarf has pulled me away once more from doing something else. In this case it's painting white on something that's already white. And we've got the first White Dwarf of the year. Don't know why our January and February White Dwarfs have been missing, but there you go. We're not quite certain on that one. Well, here we are. Let's look at the front cover, and we've got a very confusing image of what looks like Thousand Suns and Space Wolves fight alongside each other. If you open it up, because it's a double page spread, and you've actually got what actually looks a bit more like a massive fight with Magnus and Ahriman nuking away at some Space Wolves whilst his mates are doing their thing. So, on to the content. Not looked at, as always, I've not looked through this yet. I've only had a chance to look at the front page, and let's get going. So, onto the content, and straight into right. Place additional interest. So we're starting off onto the content, and it looks like we've got a bit of everything, a bit of 40k, specifically Space Wolves, and some Age of Sigmar as well. We've also got looks like a bit of a Orky type bits as well. So straight on to the next bit, and it is contact from the players and all their playery questions. So at the minute we've got some very cool looking ultramarine inceptors by John Margiotta, which look absolutely stunning, suitably battle damaged and really nicely painted, so they are looking wicked. So got some questions about the Hive Fleet. I've got a couple of really cool figures here from some of the readers, and straight onto the model of the month. What have we got? And we have got Azrael, by the looks of things, and it was a conversion which was featured in the November issue. So that's a very cool converted Azrael, a really nice Sangor Chairman, and this young man has made his own little conversion corner and has got a Death Guard attack bike, which looks absolutely awesome. So good on him for that. I'm not sure what he's using it as. Quite possibly a malefic blight crawler, I want to say. One of the little beetle things, possibly. Let's have a see what he says. So, well done to Paul and Aaron Folks. That's a really cool job. Let's see. It is I am not sure what he's using it. I think they're not sure either. So yeah, we'll see what they decide to use it as. But it's very, very cool. I really like that conversion. Good effort on that. So, Words of Warhammer. This is Jordan Green. We're talking about the designing of the Warhammer worlds for Fantasy and AOS, and also 40k as well. And in this particular fight, you've got some of the Iron Golems, some Savage Orcs there. And okay, so onto the irregular features. This is a Space Wolf section, and I believe this is Index Astartes. Oh no, Echoes from the Warp, which is Elliot Hammer from the 40k design team and development team, who's also a former tournament and campaign weekend runner for GW as well. So he knows his thing about 40k and how to run the tournaments. Here we go. Index Astartes of the Wolves of Fenris. So obviously, as always, you've got a nice bit of blurb about the chapter and what's been happening up to date as well in their battles. So it's as always, with such a long history with the Space Wolves, there's quite a lot to cover. So it's quite a lengthy section with some new missions, which is, I'm guessing, going to be designed for Space Wolves and 1,000 Suns, if reading the cover, but you never know. It's also got some specialist stratagems, which is always nice to see. There is a paint supply for painting the Primaris Space Wolf. That Space Wolf in particular needs a lot more wolfy stuff. It's a bit plain, but the paint supply is, as always, really nicely detailed. Plenty of stuff in there to teach you how to make a Space Wolf of the new core scheme, which, to be fair, I prefer the older one. It's just my personal take on it. I think the slate grey looks better than the sort of a baby blue colour. Some different types of paint schemes now. This is a contrast-based paint scheme, which is much more close to the classic colours. As you can see, I'm just bend the 2 pages over. It's a much lighter grey, and that uses the Space Wolf grey base coat, which I'm guessing is a contrast as well. So that's a nice light grey colour. And onto a bit of a model gallery. And these are what the Space Wolf Primaris Marine should look like. Much more wolfy, loads of extra bits. Really cool. That's how we should look, in my opinion. I don't like to see plain Space Wolves. I think there should be loads of furs and loads of cool bits going on them, because they're quite a savage, feral bunch. So, on to what has been called galactic warg zones. I'm not going to shout it because that'll be silly. And obviously talking about the orcs in 40k and how they go about doing their thing, and generally being a bit weird. Some very cool conversions. One based off a Nemesis Dread Knight, which is always cool to see. You know full well if the orcs come up against Grey Knights and they manage to capture a couple of them, they're getting used. A giant flying drill thing, which can only be described as absolutely mental, so it's pretty suitable, I suppose. An Invictus war suit, also converted up into being an orc vehicle. I'm going to have to point that one out to Dodge. I think he'd like that idea. Grot tanks. A grot tank made out of what looks like a Lehman Russ battle tanks track. Great idea. I love it. Obviously, you got some of the newer bits. I do like the converted Death Killer war track. That's very cool. I do like the biker type stuff of the orcs. It's massive, absolutely massive battle wagon with what looks like a Hydra flak tank turret on it as well. Nice. And obviously looted wagons as well. Good to see them. I want to see some proper rules for match play, as they've only got rules in your PowerPoints games and whatever. So it'd be nice to see some rules come out for looted wagons. The terrain piece, the ironically named Big Mech's Workshop, which is very cool, and also rules for them in, rules for things in Kill Team. Now this is a character called an Archivist, which could well be the Zoat, which is interesting. Yeah, it looks like it's the old Zoat model. So I'm definitely going to be having a bit of a read about their background, because I've not seen Zoats since I was a kid. So that's very cool to see as well. Another army showcase. This is Custodians with Sisters of Silence. Be good to see them getting a little bit of love and tied in together to make them an actual cohesive army, where you can actually have Sisters of Silence being used as an independent army or alongside Custodians, because that would be kind of fitting. Obviously, you've got the death jet bike things, which are absolutely vicious, and hopefully they go up another 300 points per model, because I think they're absolutely horrific, absolutely horrendous. Some very nicely painted up Contemptor Dreadnoughts. I believe they're the plastic ones. Yeah, it looks like they're the plastic ones, with some nicely positioned reposes and whatever, and a very, very nice, is it Telemon Dreadnought? I'm not sure, but either way, it's very cool. So, short story about the Indomitus Crusade. Looks like it's focusing on the Custodians, which are pretty brutal. And on to Age of Sigmar. So, rules of engagement. So, this is Jarvis Johnson is talking about battle points and looks like some kind of prestige and glory thing. So, some kind of campaign rules. So, there you are. With your own little campaign system set up there. So, it's more on the campaign rules. Obviously, those of you who've missed that, who got the last 2 months of White Dwarfs, will probably be able to make more sense of this, as this is building settlements, which is interesting, and it's definitely something I would like to implement into 40k, because although playing random match play games is fun, I do like having a campaign or tournament to play as well. So, Land of the Dead Heroes is a campaign for Age of Sigmar. And by the looks of things, there's a lot of undead involved. And it's a Horst campaign. So, these are rules for the ghostly dudes, I think. And this is a lot of information about running a campaign there. So the Tale of Four Warlords again. We've got Matt Hudson and his Stormcast Eternals, and in the last year he's got 3,500 points of Stormcast Eternals. Alex, Steve Wren. Alex has got the Nurgle stuff. Steve Wren has got the Iden of Deepkin, and Ben Johnson has got the Goblins, if I remember correctly. And let's see what they've got into there. So obviously the Stormcast Eternals has got loads and loads of dudes, with some random flying griffin type things. Obviously you can't have a full Nurgle demon army without a Great and Clean one. So obviously she has one, quite possibly more. The Iden of Deepkin with very exotic bases. They have gone very interesting on their bases. Really vibrant, sort of coral reef sort of look on it. I like that. That's cool. And squigs, of course. Well, when can you have enough squigs? In my opinion, to answer that question, I would say never. There's never too much as. There's never such a thing as too much squigs, because squigs awesome. So, got a battle report for the Tale of Four Warlords, and it is a total of 2,000 points, or power. I think it's points, and it's a 4-way game. Wow. With and one army's got a little over 2,000 points. All right. So Yeah, the goblins have got 2,300 points because they messed up on the army lists. But hey, who cares? It's just a random game, right? And so that was a doubles game. We'll skip to the end and move on to Warcry. So I've got some additional territory rules for Warcry. Extra rules is always good for anyone who plays any game system. On the Beastgrave stuff, we're talking about branching out into other clans or battle groups or whatever you call them. Moving forward onto Blackstone Fortress, we have some more new rules, retinues, including the Jacaro Tinkerer. Also some additional missions for that, and campaign rules for, or new rules for Adeptus Titanicus. If anybody's interested, these are the ones what I was suggested to paint up my Reaver Titan in, and so as that's what was suggested, that's what I'll do. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a swine to do, but they are very cool looking, so that's all worth it. So we've got some new extra rules for certain narrative missions and what have you. Onto Black Library. A lot of new books coming out, especially for the Horus Heresy. As always, we've got to be getting really close to the end now. It's an excerpt from Faith and Fire by James Swallow. It's not actually a bad book. I've read the first one. I quite enjoyed it. So I'm not going to go into the excerpts because obviously that's spoiling. But it is a Sister Battle focused novel. You can actually get it in the omnibus version as well. And there's obviously been a lot of stuff going on inside their studio, including the creation of new war scrolls of a squig herder with a mini mangler and a squig cap shaman. So there you go. Next month is the Tithe Legion. Not quite sure what that's meant to mean, but we'll find out in a month or so. So there you are, guys. That is this month's White Dwarf. Obviously, a lot of Age of Sigmar type stuff in there, but Space Wolf fans, if you want a bit of short, if you want some more background and maybe a look into a new short story, it's definitely worth it for Space Wolf fans. Overall, a little bit light on 40k content and rules wise, but can't have everything. A lot of content, a lot of rule stuff in there for the fantasy players, though. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. As always, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Just remember to be cool to everybody. So huge thank yous to our patrons and any subscribers we've got over the last few months and obviously over the last few years. So huge thank yous to you guys. So as always, thank you to our patrons, in particular Orc Boys, Matt, Ludwig, DWAC, Mark, Dave and Tom. You're our top paying patrons, and without you, we couldn't do this without you. If you're interested in joining Patreon, the link's in the description. It really does help us keep the lights on and gets us extra models for you to watch us do tutorials. You also get two automatic entries every month to our monthly giveaways without having to do anything. So that's obviously a huge benefit to you guys. It's for as little as $1 a month as well. Also, massive thank yous to the Outpost, which is our affiliate link. The link is in the description. The Outpost is a Sheffield-based store where you can get your normal 15 to 20% discounts for any of your hobby needs. Also, we get 5% store credit at no cost to you guys as well, so that also helps us get extra stuff in very cheaply, so we can do additional content without really stretching our bank. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and we shall catch you in the next one. Ta-ra!